G'day Gooners, welcome to the Arsenal Weekly Recap. This week for the Arsenal. Well, the week started in the worst possible way with the Carabao Cup final between Arsenal and Manchester City, as the Gunners were absolutely not at their level. The day was highlighted by the spill early in the second half by Kepa, leading to the conceding of the first goal and the collapse soon afterwards as we conceded another goal. It was a disappointing performance as the game finished 2-0, as we were forced to watch the trophy be lifted by Manchester City on the sidelines. Hopefully the boys can pick themselves up to finish off the season strong. With Mikel Arteta in his press conference quoting, "We're going to use this disappointment and this fire in the belly to have the most amazing 2 months." Moving on to more positive news, the women had a fantastic day out in the Champions League quarter-final first leg against Chelsea, with an impressive 3-1 win against the English rivals. The game started out pretty shaky, with Chelsea hitting the post early on with this shot from Thompson. Lauren James also hitting the same post seconds later. Until set piece again, Ole Ole, finished off by the head of Blacksenius. Chloe Kelly then converted a brilliant long-range strike, fighting the bottom corner. Lauren James brought one back for Chelsea, with a corner-perfect long-range effort herself, before Russo finished off with style, capping off a player-of-the-match performance with a lovely first touch and strike. A closer look at her first touch, where she flicked the ball up in one sweeping motion and smashed it goal-bound on half a volley. Brilliant stuff. The ladies will resume in the second leg on the 2nd of April, 6 AM Aussie time, and the winner will play either Wolfsburg or Lyon. The men are currently off to international break, with some playing friendlies, whilst others playing meaningful World Cup qualification matches. A few Gunners opting to sit out due to suspected injuries, but mainly rest from fatigue. Leandro Trossard sits out for Belgium, reported with an injury. Saka and Rice sits out for England, but Ben White finally got an opportunity and was caught up. More on him later. Saliba out for France, was reported with an ankle injury, and Big Gabby for Brazil with a knee injury. The matches themselves, however, heavily featured our Gunners. Most significant of them all was Gyökeres, who bagged a hat-trick for Sweden in their game against Ukraine. The first was a classic purchase goal off a sharp cross, landing into his feet right in front of an open net. The second was a breakaway where he was played on from deep, handling the ball from the edge of the final third, and then working his way into a shooting position to calmly pass it into the bottom corner. Last was a similar bit of play, but this time drawing the keeper out and earning a penalty. This look says it all, as he proceeded to bang in his third goal. Norgard scored for Denmark in the qualifying game, beating North Macedonia 4-0. His goal comes from a corner from Eriksson at the back post. Calafiori started for Italy in the qualifying match against Northern Ireland, winning 2-0. On to friendly matches now, where Martinelli started for Brazil in their loss against France 2-1. Spain were comfortable against Serbia, where Christian Mosquera enjoyed his senior international debut, and Zubimendi had a very brief cameo late into the game. Ben White's return to the English side was initially met with boos from the Wembley crowd, but then turned to cheers as he scores a tap-in at the far post of a corner. However, a horrible tackle from Aguirre onto Madueke saw our winger hobble off the pitch with an injury. Karakuni Cross, after the Asia Cup finals against Japan last week, will not be returning to the Arsenal to finish off the rest of the season, choosing to stay in Australia to look after her ill mother. Best wishes to her family and hoping for a speedy recovery. And finally, just this morning, the women's team had their North London derby. It was a dominating 5-2 win, capping off an emotional game as our captain Kim Little celebrated her 400th appearance for the club, the crowd also celebrating with a magnificent tifo. This is also after receiving news that our captain had also signed a 1-year contract extension. The game was highlighted by Russo's continued excellent form, scoring a hat-trick. First was a diving header of a corner. Second was her picking the ball up from the edge of the box, dribbling around the keeper and placing it into opposite corner. Third was a gift from the Tottenham keeper, passing it straight to Russo, who controlled it and smashed the half volley. Caitlin Ford enjoyed her return to English football with a goal of her own, and Blackstenius capped off the night with our 5th goal. A significant win for the women, as this firmly puts us in 2nd on the table with 2 games in hand to secure a Champions League qualification, and potentially a late surge on the title, although unlikely. Our upcoming fixtures now, where the men will resume their FA Cup campaign on April 4th, whereas the women will look to finish off business against Chelsea in the 2nd leg of the Champions League. We have a transfer rumour linked to PSG's Ivica Kvaratskhelia. The Independent reports that Arsenal are exploring an approach to the left winger, however, understandably, will be a difficult target to pursue. We'll have to see if this progresses further when the season ends. Thank you for watching and listening to this week's recap. If you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment on what you thought about this video or what other content you'd like to see. Until next time, have a great week.